Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to talk about something really cool, and that is an e-bike. This is a new e-bike from a company called MAGICYCLE, M-A-G-I-C-Y-C-L-E, MAGICYCLE. It is the 52V Cruiser, 52 standing for 52 volts. It has a lot of power. It's got a 750 watt motor on it so that you can get lots and lots of power, actually 30% extra power going uphill. Unfortunately, there are not really a whole lot of hills around Houston suburbs for me to test it on, but it's supposed to have a range of 30 to up to 55 miles. I got mine to go over 30, but you have to take a lot of different things into consideration like weight, speed, how you're riding it, terrain, all that good stuff. Is there enough air in the tires? There's a lot of different things to consider. But I want to start off with the actual packaging itself, talking about the process, how easy it is to set up. I set it up by myself with no help, and it came in a big box. The box it came in, basically it's mostly assembled. You've got the whole full frame of the bike, and then all you have to do is basically put on the front tire, throw on the pedals, attach the handlebars and the headlight, and you're pretty much good to go. It has all the tools you need inside the box, which is nice. You don't have to make a run down to Home Depot or order something off of Amazon for a same-day delivery. You've got everything you need in the box. It even comes with a couple extras, like a neat little hat. You get a bike alarm, which is kind of neat. And the biggest MVP is the bike chain. It actually has a really, really heavy-duty bike chain with a combination on it. I used it almost immediately because once I got it set up, I wanted to go ride it. So I rode down to the store about 2 miles away, crossed some streets, went and picked some stuff up, chained it up while I was there, and rode it back. I didn't have to worry about somebody stealing it. So I would say overall, total time for me to put it together by myself was I'd say about 30 minutes. So after you get it set up, what do you do next? Well, you need to charge it. Two things about this that I like. One, it doesn't take a long time to charge. The manual says about 3 to 5 hours. I had it down to 9%, and in about 3 hours, it filled it all the way up to 100%. I don't know exactly how much under 3 hours, but I was gone right at about 3 hours. I went to the grocery store, went to eat, I came back home, looked at my watch, lo and behold, it was at 100%. So I wanted to report that. It does recharge pretty quick. So I was actually really impressed by that. And then you can ride it for so long, it's great. So it's not one of those things where it's like a drone. You go fly it for 20 minutes and then it's like, well, let me go charge it for another 2 hours before I try it again. The sustainability and the eco factor is really nice. My wife's all about it. She drives a Tesla. I'm like, well, I don't have an electric car, but I have an electric bike. And I like that. I've wanted one for a long time, so I was very happy to work with these guys at MAGICYCLE. They're like, hey, you want to review it? I said, heck yeah, of course I want to review it. But I've really been enjoying it. And with everything that's gone on in the last 2 years, bikes were really hard to get. I tried to get some for my kids. I was successful, but I had to make like 10 different trips over 3 months to go to Academy to get them. You can order this. They have inventory. You can get it. Yeah, $15.89 is a little bit expensive. I'm not really going to sugarcoat that, but I think for what you pay for, you get your money's worth. It's rugged. It's got big heavy-duty tires. You can ride it off-road. You can ride it on all terrain. And it's got high quality components and the materials are solid. Not once when I was riding it did I feel it doesn't feel rickety, it doesn't feel loose, it doesn't feel like something like the tire's gonna fall off. Of course, that's the expectation you should have with any bike. But this is the first time I've seriously ridden a bike in a long time. Not only does it make it fun, it makes it, well, it does make it fun, but it makes it more practical. There's a lot of stuff around my house I really just don't want to get in my car for. For instance, Subway. I ride this thing to Subway like 2 times a week now just to go pick myself up some food and bring it back home. It's really nice and convenient. You don't have to worry about gas. Gas is crazy expensive. Down here I'm paying about $4 a gallon for premium right now, and my cars both take premium gas. So this has been really nice. I've ridden it to the pharmacy down the street to go pick stuff up. I've ridden it across the street to go pick up food. I've ridden it several miles down the road just to have fun on it. So you can go to the bike trails. You can do pretty much whatever, and it's great for if you work downtown, you live in a commuter city. I spent the last year and a half, well, I spent the last 2 years at home, but the year and a half prior to that, I was really interested in one of these because I used to work in downtown Houston. So there was a lot of stuff. Nothing's really close or was close by my office. This would have made things perfect for my lunch break because there were a lot of places within 7, 8, 10 blocks, but when you only get about 45 minutes for lunch, especially when it's 100 degrees outside and really humid during the summer, it would have been nice to have a bike as opposed to relying on something like Uber Eats and all that stuff, or having to walk really far and get sweaty on your lunch break. Go hop on the bike and call it a day. So there's a lot of practical features to it. and then the distance. I was really surprised at how far I got. I used a lot of it combination, using the motor itself, using it in assisted capacity, and it worked for over 30 miles, which was ridiculous to me. And I even spent the last couple of miles just using the throttle and not even pedaling. And you'd be really surprised how many people notice that, but they do. They're like, is that an e-bike? It really is something that's starting to permeate out into society. So practicality's there, setting it up is there, and the purpose for them, I think, is there too, especially for us older adults. It's a great way to go out there. You don't have to kill yourself to ride a bike, but that assisted feature is really nice. I haven't ridden a bike in so long. I don't have the stamina for it. I'm not even going to try and make it sound like I'm in good shape, because I'm not. But this way, I put it on the assisted 2 feature. Like, there's 7 levels of assistance. There's 7 gears. It'll go up to a maximum speed of about 28 miles per hour. For me, the highest I got was like 23.6. I haven't gotten it to 28 miles per hour, but I'm honestly a little scared to. I don't want to see my life flash before my eyes. Going 25 miles an hour, 23 miles per hour, almost 30 miles per hour on a bike feels really fast. Make sure you wear a helmet. Wear a helmet. Your loved ones will appreciate it. You'll look like a dork, but at least you'll be all right. Well, ideally, if you end up eating pavement. So when it comes to the bike, functionality is very easy. You've got the little, basically it's the control screen. It tells you everything on there, and then you have a control knob on the left hand of the handlebars, which you can access conveniently right next to the bell, which is cool. I didn't realize what it was at first, and I pressed it. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. You get a built-in bell, great for safety, great for awareness, letting people know what's going on. And the headlight is really nice too. It took me a minute to find the start button, but once you do, it's on the top of that little control module on the left handle. You'll see the video clip here. Press and hold it for about 2 seconds, fires it up. Tells you all the stats, tells you how many watts you're using for which is the level of assistance, tells you everything you need to know, how much ride time, what your trip is, how many miles you've ridden it. It keeps track of all that stuff, and it's very easy to control because you just use the controls on the control module. And then you can adjust it up or down, plus or minus, up to 7 levels of assistance, which corresponds with the 7 gears over on the gear shift, which is also Shimano. It's got Shimano disc brakes on it. The brakes, they're not as sharp as I would have expected them to be, but I've also never really ridden bikes much at 20-something miles per hour. So do give yourself some stopping distance, and don't expect it to stop exactly on a dime. It's just like your car. When you're going 30 miles an hour, yeah, you don't stop immediately. So just something, food for thought there. And the headlight's actually really bright too, just throwing it out there. I wanted to see what it looked like, and I had my son ride down the street, and it's like nobody's going to miss you on this bike. If they see you, if they're riding towards you, that light is very, very bright. So easy to use. And with the assisted feature, it makes it great to ride. So kind of going back to what I was talking about a minute ago, if you put it on like level 2 assistance and you have it on like the 3rd or 4th gear, when you're riding, if you barely pedal it a little bit, you're going about 15, 14 miles per hour and very little work. You're only using like 100 watts, which is kind of nice because not using a lot of energy, but getting a lot of benefit. And that's where these e-bikes come in handy. Yes, you can just use it as an automatic way to get around. You use the throttle, you crank it back, you ride around. But if you use it in the assisted mode, you really don't use a lot of battery. If you're using 100 watts while you're riding around and pedaling, it's going to get you really far. It's going to get you the maximization out of using that, and that's how you get further. If you're using it with just the throttle and not pedaling, yeah, you burn up the battery a whole lot faster. But if you're actually pedaling, that's how you get up to that 50-mile range, and also not being 6 foot tall and 230 pounds. But it does support up to 285 pounds, which is good. People are tall. People are big. People want to ride a bike. It's one of those things. Not everything is a one-size-fits-all approach. And this is a big bike. For me, being 72 inches, 6 foot tall, my inseam on my pants is about 30 inches, which is kind of short for someone my size. Most people have about 32, 34-inch legs. So if you're about 5 foot 5, 5'6" to over 6 foot, you'll be able to ride this bike. My kids, they're about 5'3", 5'6", and they were able to get on it, but got to make sure those feet touch the ground so you can get nice, safe contact. But the ride experience is nice. It's smooth. It's got really good suspension on it, and the tires are nice too. They help out a lot if you're riding on concrete, riding on grass, whatever. I did ride on some grass, went off road a little bit. Nothing on the trails. That's not quite my level of expertise when it comes to biking. I don't want to die, but it is fun to ride. And it's been a really nice, refreshing experience. Easy to use. Hop on there. You just crank back on the throttle and you go. If you don't want to pedal, you just use the throttle. If you want to save some battery and you just want to get out and have a nice experience, it's nice to get out and ride, not just from a therapeutic perspective, because that's good, but when you have the assisted pedaling, it takes all that, well, the exercise component. I mean, if you haven't ridden a bike in a long time, you could maybe go ride a mile and like, man, my legs are really tired. But with this mode, you can ride for a long time. You're riding at like 13 miles per hour, so it's a really enjoyable. You're going faster, you're moving, you're going places, the wind is in your hair, and it makes for a nice experience. And overall, I've really enjoyed the bike. But also, I meant to talk about a second part earlier. I said I really like the charging because of how quick. I said I like the charging because of how fast it charges. I also like it because the battery is detachable. The bike comes with a set of keys. You can take the battery off so you can charge it anywhere. So if you live in an apartment, you live somewhere it's inconvenient to charge, you park your bike, you lock it in place, you take the battery with you, you plug it in. So if you want to ride 15 miles to work but you're worried about getting home, ride to work, take the battery off, leave your bike chained up, take the battery in the office and charge it. Bob's your uncle, you're ready to go for your lunch break and for your ride home. So it's a really viable way to get around and do things, and it makes a really enjoyable experience. I think it's well thought out. The controls are simple and easy, power on demand, you can ride it for 30 to 55 miles. It's sturdy, it's rugged, it's comfortable, and that's the last thing I want to talk about is comfort. You've got these almost leather-like wrapped hand grips on it, which are nice and comfortable to hold on to, but the seat, you can raise it up and down easily. It's got that quick release system so you can move it up and down. Very comfortable. I've gone out and ridden this thing 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles. It doesn't really bother me as a normal bike seat would. Like, I bought a bike from Academy a while back, and yeah, a couple of minutes into it, I'm like, no, this is not for me. So this one's very comfortable. Big mountain bike, cruiser style bike, and yes, the only thing that I have against it is the price, but you get what you pay for. And this one should last you a while. It's sturdy, it's quick, it's powerful, and I've really enjoyed it. So that pretty much wraps up my review here. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you're looking into it or looking into an e-bike like this, I gotta say the benefit and the intrigue is there. It's something that I was really curious about for a long time, and now I absolutely love this thing. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to head down to the comment section and leave a comment there and we can talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.